how to replace front brake pads and rotors on a 2021 Nissan Versa S. Step 1, jack up the car using the jack locations. It's usually indicated by a little arrow or something there. Then take out the hubcap. Hey, did what's his name get at you yesterday? Oh, who's that? These nuts! Remove the 4 lug nuts to remove the tire. Even this POS DeWalt can get them off. Once the wheel's off, I like to turn the front wheel, that way I can get more access to the back of the caliper. Then remove the 2 caliper bolts, this one and this one. Then I like to just shove my thingy in this slot and move it over so that the piston retracts into the caliper. And then it slides off. Then remove these 2 caliper bracket bolts. And for all my friends in the Rust Belt, just fucking move. If the rotors don't want to just come off, encourage them a little. It's optional, but you can put some anti-seize around here if you want so that you can help out the next guy. Then install your new rotor. And I like to at least finger tighten 1 lug nut on here just to keep it from moving back and forth while I go ahead and put the bracket back on before I put the caliper back on. Then remove the old pads from the caliper bracket. If your new brake pads come with new hardware, just remove the old hardware by just popping it out and pop the new ones in. Next, we're going to check to make sure that these are moving freely. You could always take them out and put more grease in there if you want, but I just leave them as long as they're good. Then put the caliper bracket back on, torque to spec. If you're finding it hard to put the new pads in, you're probably just not holding your tongue right. Now we're getting ready to put the caliper back on. If you didn't get the piston to go all the way back in and you don't have enough clearance to get over the new pads, you can get a tool like this and then just use your old brake pad to push in the piston. This cool super tool because all you gotta do is squeeze it. Once the piston's all the way back in, we're just going to slide it back on. And then tighten both of your caliper bolts back to spec. Now that everything's back together, I'm going to turn the wheel back straight and put the wheel and tire back on. Then lower the car down and repeat the process on the other side. Wait, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Like literally go back in the car and pump the brakes before you work on the other side. Now you don't have to pump the brakes after each side. However, I just like to do it just to make sure that the reservoir isn't going to overflow as I push those pistons back in. But you definitely need to pump the brakes after the repairs are complete because you need those pistons to go back out and push the brake pads into the rotors so that you'll have brake pads. Otherwise, you're going to go to take off and you're not going to be able to stop until you get those things pumped back up. If you'd like to know all the things that I did wrong, just check the comment section.